feel strong inside. I feel awake and alive. Blessed and aligned. I got love. I feel good and kind. I feel my heart open wide. Spirit guide my heart's love. Open your hearts. Hold out your hands. Open up to that love of love. Open your hearts. Hold out your hands. Open up to that love of love. I feel strong inside. I feel awake and alive. Blessed and alive. I got love. I feel good and kind. I feel my heart open wide. Spirit guide my heart. I got love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to have love, love, love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to have love, love, love. 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 I feel strong inside. I feel awake and alive. Blessed and alive. I got love. I feel good and kind. I feel my heart open wide. Spirit guide my heart. I love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to our love, love, love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to our love, love, love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to our love, love, love. Open your heart. Hold out your hands. Open up to our love, love, love.
Good morning. Wow. This is wonderful. Yes? Yes. So, I'm going to be doing a prayer song. Um, Spirit of the element of water. I call for the sacred plant world, those givers of energy that sustain life. Okay, this is the place of the plants. I call for the aspects, hey, of truth, trust, and innocence. I call for the sacred owl to bring that dream to the people. Hey, call for the gods, goddesses, grandmothers, grandfathers of the South. And I call for us to open our hearts as we renew and rebuild this new beginning. I call for the clearing of any stagnation, any obstacles, as we bring love present, alive, and thriving in this center, in this community. Sacred South, be here now. Hey, Sacred West, Ihama. I call for the spirit of the element of earth. I call for the world of the minerals, those holders and transformers of energy. Hey, I call for the aspects of introspection and intuition to be present. This is the mineral world. Hey. I call for the sacred rave and bring that mystery and magic. Hey, I call for the gods, goddesses, grandmothers, grandfathers of the West. Hey, and at this time, I call for the clearing of the stagnation, and of any obstacles as we rebuild. I call for proper choreography of energy and understanding of protocol as we joyfully come back together. Sacred West, be here now. Sacred West, be here now. Hey, I call for a sacred North, Wahoma. I call for the spirit of the element of air. This is the place of the animals, the sweet medicine that teach us to be our natural selves. Hey, I call for the hawk that brings clarity to our visions. I call for the aspects of balance, harmony, wisdom, and logic. And at this point, Sacred North, we call for strong intending in our visions and in our imagination as we joyfully come back together. Hey, Sacred North, be here now. Hey, and I call for Sacred East, Chi'im. I call for the spirit of the element of fire. This is the place of the humans, the human world, the red humans, the black humans, the white humans, the yellow humans, and the medicine, the Métis, the rainbow people. Hey, I call for that eagle that takes the prayers like the smoke to the Great Spirit. Hey, and I call for that spark of creation that makes all things possible. Hey, by the power of our word, as we bring love present, alive and thriving in this center and this community. Sacred East, be here now. Hey, Great Spirit, hear this prayer. Hey, hear this blessing, this community, this center, the love that is present as we bring love present, alive and thriving. Hey, and I call and acknowledge the ancestors that have walked this land, the Cherokee, the Wichita, and the Caddo. We say Wado ancestors. Hey, as above, so below, Great Spirit. Hear this blessing, this prayer, as we bring love present, alive, and thriving to this center and this community. Aho. Wanestika. And so it is.
Please join us in singing A Light in This World.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
You are a light.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine
each and every one of us. And it's from that place that we open our hearts. We awaken our hearts for what is here today for each and every one of us, knowing that divine love is expressing, that peace within is expressing in, through, and as each of us as we shine our light out into the world. As we rise together, awakening our hearts, awakening those around us, whether we're here today in person or viewing from at home, we are one with each other. We are one in the love that is Spirit right here, right now. So as we come together today, we bless this time, we bless the love that we are, and we simply know the I am that I am is present right now. And so it is.
We are a light.
We are the light. We are the light. We are the light in this world. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light in this world. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine so bright. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine so bright.
I am a light.
I am a light. I am the light. I am the light in this world. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light in this world. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright.
Okay, let's give them a hand. Well, good morning, everyone. CSL Dallas online and in the sanctuary. It's great to see people here today. Those of you here with us this morning are on the vanguard of our reemergence as in-person celebrations have begun again. And especially hello to everyone online, and thank you for growing with us as we've had a tremendous experience of growth online at CSL Dallas. Thanks to you and thanks to everyone here at CSL Dallas that's made that possible. Let's start out by acknowledging that those of you online have the ability to give and give generously to CSL Dallas, and our purpose here by donating through your favorite online, through your online giving, but also just by being active with us socially. So get online in your favorite social media. We're there. We'd like to be there with you. So like us on Facebook or wherever it is that you do your socializing. We'd like to join you there. Let's say our purpose statement. Those of us that are in the sanctuary get to do that for the first time in over a year. Let's say it together. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And our annual theme for this year is Together We Rise. A couple of announcements before we move on. There is so much happening at CSL Dallas, and we want you to know about two special things right now. Wednesday night, Meditation and Metaphysics is back. We're bringing back a fan favorite here at CSL Dallas. These Wednesday nights are inspiration, centering, and a deep dive into spiritual living. Please join us every Wednesday on Zoom or on Facebook as Dr. Petra and friends get us centered and then take us deep. Stay tuned for weekly emails for the Zoom link, or continue to join us on Facebook for this. And also, Step Out in Faith. This is a campaign that goes on through the end of the month. Step Out in Faith is a community-wide adventure that we take together. Everyone who sails this course with us can expect to be inspired by the messages, connected in your home study group, and educated by the workbook and the videos that are provided. If you'd like to be part of a home study group, you will see a registration link in our weekly emails and posted within today's live stream. If you have any questions about the program, please email revpatty@csldallas.org. So that's what we have coming up. Now we want to say thank you for some recent things that have happened. On Easter, we had a wonderful group. We want to say thank you to those who helped make that possible. Thanks, Cheryl, Tina, Linda, Sharon, Gary, Daniel, Peggy, Jim, Kathy, Janice, Paula, Chad, Gordon, Dan, Brett, Rhonda, Kia, Crystal, Debbie, Irving, and Jill. Whoa! I hope you were able to enjoy some of that beautiful Sunday celebration we had here outdoors. And also the day before that, we had a bunny event, so we want to thank those who helped us with the bunny. Doreen, Debbie, Molly, Irving, Sharon, Patrick, Stephanie, Jimmy, Sammy, Kathy, Matt, Jackie, Glenn, Susan, Sheila, Nikki, Peggy, Hannah, Reggie, Hannah, Kyle, Harpreet, and Crystal. Let's give them all a big hand. All right, that was harder to see back there than I thought it would be. And also, so that you know, here's where I'm supposed to talk about giving. Please, give generously to CSL Dallas. We've had tremendous growth in our online, and so those of you enjoying the online presence, please make your donations today. You can do a secure text to give, or you can go to csldallas.org. Give generously. Thank you so much.
Join us in singing All Things Are Possible.
All things are possible. All things are possible. All things are possible for me. All things are possible. All things are possible. All things are possible for me. 'Cause God's life is my life. My life is my life. God's life is my life. My life is God's life. All things are possible for you. All things are possible. All things are possible for you. All things are possible. All things are possible. All things are possible for you. For God's life is your life. Your life is God's life. God's life is your life. Your life is God's life. All things are possible for us. All things are possible. All things are possible for us. All things are possible. All things are possible. All things are possible for us. God's life is our life. Our life is God's life. God's life is our life. Our life is God's life. All things are possible for me. All things are possible. All things are possible for me. All things are possible.
All things are possible. We'll even figure out how to maneuver around each other. Hey, good morning. I miss our carpet. We will get that carpet soon. We'll also get more slides. We'll have community song slides again. Don't you worry, we're building.
even in the number of people that we have in here, right? So we're just really grateful. Before I even begin this message, can I just say the extrovert is so happy this morning? I see people. I see peeps. And I still see you online, which is significantly important as well. So we're grateful that you're here. Yeah, so, yes, she says. The little ones know about this stuff. So all things are possible in this life as this life itself. Absolutely possible. Yay. Yes, and. There really are some times, there really are some situations, there really are some circumstances. I don't know about you, but for me, I sometimes don't believe that they are possible. Things come up. Is it just me, or does it come up in your life too? See, this is good. I have participation again. It's been over a year. Yeah. And when these times and these situations, these circumstances come up, I do my best to remember that all things are possible as life. And knowing this and knowing what's just could be happening in each of our lives, we made a decision to make this month's theme Fly Free, so that we can bring things, messages, inspiration, tools, teachings, so that we all beings, especially human beings, can fly free. So that's our theme for this month. And today, I'm talking about how to awaken our hearts. How to awaken our hearts. The heart of the infinite, to awaken life itself within each of us. Now, I want to begin by sharing that over this past years, during this year over the pandemic, there's been difficulties. There's been difficulties through isolation. There have been difficulties through uncertainty, the unknown. And even though we continue to face this, the good news is there are bright lights at the end of this tunnel, isn't there? So let's take note of that. But with all the things happening in the world, in society, culturally, systemically, environmentally, some of these things can bring each of us down. And that's what I want to talk about. No, you're not going to have a downer today, but we're going to talk real. So how do each of us continue to move in our lives when big things come up? Or seemingly small things come up that seem big and impact us? How do we awaken our heart to the oneness of life itself, to connect and know that we're not ever alone, that we're never separate, no matter what, even in a sense of isolation, where I feel isolated? How do we awaken our heart to this oneness of life and know that all things are possible, and that there's actually something spectacular about to happen at the next sunrise or perhaps the next sunset, and to know in that moment before that moment arrives, right? Not wait for something outside of us to occur for that sense of experience to be here in our lives. Because there's some people that have thoughts, lots of thoughts, and there are some people that actually take action, and they actually don't get to see the next sunrise or the next sunset. I've been thinking about a topic over the past several weeks because you may not know it, but there are several people in this community that have lost sons and daughters and family members and friends to suicide. I said the S word, right? And as I was thinking about this and looking into this, especially as it relates to this pandemic in this past year, I was actually shocked that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. across all ages, young and old, everything in between. And this pandemic has no doubtly been challenging to a countless number of people. We know that economic stress is associated with higher suicide rates. We know that social isolation is associated with increased suicidal thoughts. We know that continuous media coverage, not that we've had any, of the pandemic may intensify anxiety, and that some other major risk factors are, again, isolation, fear, marginalization, economic fallout, psychological disorders, and increased domestic abuse. Okay, but this is a reality in many people's lives. The good news is that it's been proven that participation in spiritual communities actually are associated with lower suicide rates. And during this pandemic, over the past year, we haven't even been able to meet in person as a spiritual community. So no matter how much spiritual inspiration we've provided over the past year, and that's one of the reasons why we upped our game, this is still occurring in people's lives that we know in our community. So I said that this has been in my heart and on my mind for the past few weeks because of other people, but I also want to let you know that it hits very close to home. When I came into Science of Mind 14 years ago, I was on some pretty heavy-duty antidepressants. Over the span of my lifetime, I've had a lot of suicidal thoughts, just coming real. I felt isolated at times. I felt alone at times. There are many times where I didn't know my life's purpose. Why am I here? What's the point? There are many times where I have felt very unworthy. I have listened to people's, and that would be my go-to place. These suicidal thoughts would wake up throughout the span of my lifetime. In fact, it would happen that I would say that it became a pattern. Like one of the patterns in my life, it would be a go-to place. Now, you can tell that I didn't ever act upon it, right? Could you tell? Okay. Got to bring a little brevity into this. Breathe. Right? But I've had those thoughts of, I don't want to be here, I don't want to live, I don't matter, I don't have a purpose in life. The beauty of this is, thanks to Science of Mind and actually practicing this faith, this philosophy, this way of life, it's no longer a pattern in my life. I want you to know that. Thoughts may come up, but they're rare now. So instead of a go-to place, it just comes up. And the great news is that I have tools now that I can use to handle these thoughts when they do. And it's important that I know that I have these thoughts so that it no longer spins out of control. And the reason why I'm honestly sharing this with you is because I want you to know wholeheartedly that if I can do it, by God, you can do it too. Yes. This is why I'm sharing it, because I'm no different than you, and you can do this too. Now, perhaps this isn't a pattern, but maybe some of these thoughts are familiar to you in your life, right? Or perhaps you know someone close to you that struggle with these kinds of thoughts. Yes? The I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't have a purpose, it doesn't matter that I'm here, I'm broken. I haven't met a person yet that hasn't had one of those thoughts on multiple occasions. So I had to really think about this because I do talk to people. People come to me and do want to have spiritual coaching. And I am to be that spiritual leader for them in moments in their lives. And I had to really think about, how have I really done this for myself over these 14 years? How? So I'm going to share some tools. But before I share some tools, we're going to have to go down to the river and get a little cleansed. So let's just take a moment and breathe and do that. So I'm going to ask Soul Candy and the band to come up to take us to the water. Are you ready?
Good morning. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to have people here. We want to dedicate this song also to Lisa Umberger. We hope she's watching. Love you, Lisa.
Take me down to the river. 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 I need to be renewed. Lay my troubles down. Cleanse me through and through. Take me
Wash
down
all my troubles away.
to the river.
Just like Mama used to say.
Take me
Going
down
all the way
to the
down. Sacred
river.
cleanse my soul.
Take me down to the river, to that special place within. Clear my mind, Holy Spirit. My soul flows deep like the river. Take me
to that
down
clear river.
to the river.
There's a mirror waiting for me.
take
I see
me
myself as I
to
am.
the
Beautiful as
river.
can be.
And let water rain down on my soul. 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 Take me down to the river. Oh, take me down to the river. Take me down to the river. Oh, take me down to the river. Mama said to wash those blues away.
Listening to her words.
Keeping me alive. In her I am renewed. And let water rain down on my soul.
Woo! Yes. All right. Yeah. You see? So, no matter what, we can all use these tools because things come and thoughts follow. And what do we do with those thoughts? So, how did I remove the pattern of depression and suicidal thoughts in my life? Well, here are some tools that I've used and things that I've learned. And they're based on imagination, intention, energy, and more. So one thing you can do is to get quiet, to sit and be. And the important thing is, as we sit and we get quiet and we be, begin to look around. See, I always go out in nature for this as best I can. And I look around and I start looking at the sun. I start looking at the trees. I start listening for the birds singing. I start watching life be life and observe the life and look at that life and connect to that life and sit and be quiet and be. And as I observe life, it can be anything from ants doing their thing to the wind blowing, whatever it is. As I look at life, I begin to know that this life is my life. This life is my life. That is greater than me, is my life. And I've done this over and over again. The other thing that I use all the time is, and another thing that you can use, is to listen. That's the next thing. I use this tool is to listen, to pay attention, to be present in this moment. And again, to see how beautiful life is and to listen to life. To listen to the child giggle. To listen to the bird song. To listen to life all around me. To listen to whatever it is. And to begin to imagine. My imagination starts to come in as I listen to that tree. I begin to imagine life in the tree. What is that life in the tree like? And then I begin to imagine that this life in this tree, this beautiful old tree, I begin to imagine that that life is actually the same life in me. That grounded tree, I listen to the groundedness of life. I experience that groundedness of life, that is the life of me. And I begin to imagine, I use my imagination, that this same life in that child, this same life that I hear in the birds, this same life that I listen in the breeze of the tree, is the same life in me. Third thing, another thing that you can try is I do energetic work. I'm an energy kind of person. Not everybody is, but I use energetic work. I do this when I'm out again in nature, and I begin to imagine that this energy that is in me is here, and this energy that is in all of life is here. And I begin to imagine the blending of this energy, that this energy weaves itself in and out, and as I imagine this energy commingling, that there is no separation, that I don't know where the energy of me and the energy of life begins and ends. And I keep working with this energy so that my energy is out in all of life, and that all of life is the energy of me. And I cannot feel the separation of that energy. And I do that over and over again. The fourth thing, and I do this a lot in photography, in my wildlife photography, that has truly, this passion, this hobby, has helped to stop this pattern. So when I'm out with a camera and I'm looking through the lens of love and I'm looking at life, what I do is I call to life. I call life forth. I call life forth through the bear because I want to see a bear. I really do want to see a bear, believe it or not. I call forth life in the owl. I've been doing that all spring. I go out to a certain place where no one's seen an owl for days, and I call forth life as owl. And I say, owl. Owl wants to see itself through the lens of God. Through me, it sees itself. And so I call forth and call out life. I call it in. And that, I have to say, not only has it helped me in these moments, but I get to see more animals than most people do because I'm calling in life into me, through me. The fifth thing is I have anchor moments, significant anchor moments in my life that have occurred. I swam with a sea turtle in Hawaii, and it's like all of life fell away, and I was one with the universe because I was swimming with a sea turtle while snorkeling one time. I have another one where I was sitting on a rock in Seal Beach, just north of San Francisco, and looking out onto that vast ocean, and all I did was sit on a rock for hours, and it was like all of life was present for me. I anchored that in me. I have another anchor life last summer, and I spoke to that after last summer, where I was fixing windows, just an ordinary seeming thing, where I was fixing windows in the cabin in our woods, and I connected with all of life, that all of life actually knows how to do this. I didn't know I could, and it just became this huge anchor moment where tears were rushing down my face for just the experience of that in my life. And I'm sure each of us have anchor moments that have occurred in our life where we know the oneness of life itself, an experience of life. And the key is I don't attempt to recreate those moments. I use them as anchor moments and bring them forward into this moment when I'm sitting on a park bench in Dallas, Texas, instead of at the ocean at Seal Beach. And I use it as an anchor moment, so that I am experiencing that I belong, that I am the oneness of life itself. I was talking about this with Petra, and I was sharing with her how I've done this. I'm so grateful that I have these tools, and I've used these over a decade. And I said, and she said, well, I've had to do this too, by the way. And I said, well, how have you done it? Because she hasn't used these. And so I want her to share, what tool does she use?
Yeah, so we had a fabulous conversation about this. And so you'll notice that there's a theme here, and the theme is to be present to life. Right? To be present to life. So this is why the nature is so important. This is why you now go out and do forest baths. This is why it's so important to have these opportunities, and not just to sit in front of our screens or be busy all the time. So my biggest revelations around all of this have been hiking. And it is in walking on the path in the mountains, and a number of things begin to occur. The first revelation is the trees require nothing of me. I don't really care whether I'm on the path or not. They don't. The flowers don't require anything of me. They're just blooming. The sun is either shining or the clouds are moving across the sky, and they don't need anything from me. They just are. That's it. And they're so palpably alive. They're so palpably present. They require nothing of me. They are simply being. That's it. And it's enough. And we're drawn to be in the woods or to grow the rose in our garden, not because they need us, but because there is this beautiful expression of life that reminds us that simply being who we are That's enough. Do you see? Nothing is required of us. Life does not require anything of us but to be who we are. What an incredible teaching. I continued to walk the paths. I actually have a memory of a particular path around a particular hillside of a somewhat steep meadow going from a patch of forest to another patch of forest on this particular path in that particular day. And I had been practicing living the lesson of the trees and the mountain, just to be, that was enough. And I realized in that moment of walking on that path, that moment, right then, in that moment, I was as necessary to that moment to be walking on that path as the flower beside me or the bird I could hear calling. I was not a visitor. I was not consuming the experience. I was not an observer of the experience. I was not somebody who was there to take it in. Without me present in that moment, that experience would not have been happening because I wouldn't have been there. Just as if that flower weren't there, that meadow would be different that day. Or if that bird hadn't flown through. Do you see? That I was embedded in the moment of walking on that path, that I was as much a part of the universe in that moment of that path, of that meadow, of that day, on that beautiful mountainside. And where else could we be but in the moment that we are? And why are we there? Because we belong. That's why we're there. For the sheer beauty of being alive. Those two things, they have changed everything for me. And that was what I shared with Karen.
Thank you. Take a breath. See, I know there's at least one person in this universe that needed to hear this morning, to hear some of these tools. And I also know that these tools help to make us feel alive, to have an appetite for life at times where maybe we don't, right? For living, for expressing. And to really understand that our only purpose, as Peter just described, our only purpose in life is for the delight of the divine. What if that was our purpose? Ernest Holmes tells us that. I like always Aurobindo's thought, as he says, for the delight of God. I have never anywhere heard a more beautiful expression of the mystical meaning of creation. He says, it exists for the delight of God. Well, if creation exists for the delight of God, we are the creation of God, and we are here for the delight of God. That's our only purpose. We don't have to become a CEO. We don't have to, make straight A's. We don't have to. We're here for the delight of God. So you are the place where the universe is going, oh my God, look at that beautiful bird. Look at that amazing tree. Look at that flower. That's who we are. Look at that owl. Look at that child. Look at that friend holding my hand. Look at that sunrise. that delights God. I love this. I came across this in preparation, and I changed gender-neutral language here. So Ernest Holmes says, humankind does not exist for the purpose of making an impression upon our environment. We exist to express ourselves in and through our environment. There is a great difference. Humankind does not exist to leave a lasting impression upon our environment. Not at all. It is not necessary that we leave an impression. It is not necessary if we should pass tonight that anyone should remember that we have ever lived. However, all that means anything is that while we live, we live. And wherever we go from here, we shall keep on living. So we belong. That is a tool. I belong here and now, in this universe. You belong here and now, in this universe. You belong here and now, in this universe. Without you, it would not be the same. And so these tools we can use to live a more engaged way of experiencing life than purely from the observer perspective. I tell you, please believe me, if I found my way out, so can you. You can too. And if you want to have one marker, if you think that the heart is fully awakened in this oneness of life itself, sometimes we think that when we see people who are separate, alone, struggling with life, acting out. Did I say acting out? Acting out, right? Because of what they're going through. Rather than judging or wanting them to be different, how about have compassion for them? Because we sometimes think that this spiritual work is for ourselves. And yes, it is for ourselves that we do this. But the spiritual work is really to know that we want each of us to be whole and connected as we possibly can. And I want that for everybody. That's why I'm sharing this morning. I want that for everybody. In fact, there's no way that I can have the experience of oneness and walk around feeling connected and not want that for everyone else. Anything less than that is not even possible in my life anymore. And that's become my benchmark. That's my watermark. Can I want this for everyone else? So I'm still working at it to awaken my heart to this amazing life, to know that all things are possible, right? And to stay on this spiritual path. And to our individualized expression, we seemingly are individuated from it, is actually in the oneness of all of life. So I trust that at least one of these tools, when the thoughts come, when the situations happen, when the occurrences take place, when we are thrown off balance, that we remember one of these tools. Because we each are here for the delight of God and to keep that alive in our own consciousness. And I'm so grateful to know this and to be on this path with you. And so it is.
You can put your hands together. Come on. Yeah, you can do that. You may not like the color of my skin. You may not special class I'm in. You may not like the way I wear my hair. You may not like the silly clothes I wear. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me. Woo! Yeah! I'm gonna love me anyway. You may not like the sassy way I walk. You may not like the crazy way I talk. You may not like the music I listen to. You may not like my political view. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me anyway. I'm gonna love me. Oh. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna love me. Yeah. Love is the only way. Loving me is what it takes. No more pain, no more hurt. I'm gonna love me first. Look in the mirror and know my worth. This is my rebirth. Ooh. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Love yourself like I love you. Love me, love me, love me. Love me, love me, love me. Love me, love me, love me. Love me, love me, love me.
We are blessed to have you in the sanctuary with us. Candace, Social Family, did you bring CDs today by chance? They did bring CDs. So find these ladies after the service. Please score a CD. You can have that energy with you for the rest of your life. Couple of quick announcements before we go today. Myth and Spirit, that is Monday, starting May 3rd. Doreen Breedlove will be teaching. Are you a fan of Joseph Campbell? Or maybe if you have not, good. Joseph Campbell fans are here. If you haven't yet heard of Joseph Campbell, well, now is your time. This is an amazing author who helps blend story and reality into valuable learning lessons that we can use in everyday life. Join licensed practitioner Doreen Breedlove as she teaches this upcoming classes based upon one of his best-selling novels. You'll learn how the roots of myths really help us understand modern-day spiritual principles and so much more. And another coming up, National Day of Prayer. That's Saturday, May 8th. That's from 7 to 9. Also, Doreen Breedlove will lead an in-person and live stream event. You've got to RSVP for this. The National Day of Prayer is celebrated by many religions, including Christians of various denominations, Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, Jews, and other faith traditions, which reflect the diversity of spiritual faiths practiced here in the United States. Check out our website, csldallas.org, for these and other opportunities. And a reminder for those of you that are in the room, we do have offering baskets near the rear doors, both inside and out. Please do give generously. And a final reminder for those of you watching at home, please also, we count on your support at CSL Dallas. Practitioners will be available in the Zoom room starting at 11:30 today. And now, may love be with you as we sell out, sing out this first celebration in the sanctuary.
All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you till we meet again.